Good morning, LinkedIn family. It's time for another Coffee with Bob. This morning, I am very, very honored to be speaking with Ron Higgs. Ron is retired for some time now, naval veteran. Thank you so much for your service, Ron. I really appreciate it. And he is, what I got to talk about this because it's interesting. He's a fractional COO right now, doing some work for a startup. I don't want to get too far into it, Ron, and tell you, but he is a true servant leader. Let's talk, Ron. Go ahead. I'm taking up your time. I want you to tell us a little bit about your leadership capabilities here.
Well, first, I would like to say it was a privilege and an honor for me to serve my country. Because I am motivated by service above self, and those 24 years I spent in the Navy wouldn't trade them for anything.
Awesome.
Right? So I started off at the Naval Academy, had a career in aviation. I was a naval flight officer. Got to do some really great things, flew airplanes off of aircraft carriers, and I also did some program management and acquisition work up until the time that I retired. So I had a pretty good career, and I would say that the best thing that I got out of that was the relationships that I built. My plebe year at the Naval Academy, my first year, my roommate from plebe year is still one of my best friends today, somebody who I talk to, probably every other day. We go on vacations together, and a lot of other relationships that I brought with me from the Navy, and I'd consider those the most valuable things that I got.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. And I can imagine that being from the Navy, it really taught you a lot about leadership, right? And how does that translate into leading organizations? I mean, as an operations officer, chief operations officer, you really have to almost get your hands into everything.
Absolutely. So I'm a graduate of the Naval Academy, and that's baked into the curriculum at the Naval Academy. We are, leadership is the number one thing. So I do have quite an education in leadership, and then they start you off. We start off in the military from the get-go leading people. Even at the Naval Academy, there's a leadership structure all 4 years that you're there. That gets carried on into the Navy as a naval officer. Not only was I, in a squadron flying planes, but at the same time, I was also responsible for a division of enlisted folks and some other officers in my first squadron. And as time goes by, you gain responsibility for more and more people. I was lucky enough to work in the program management and acquisition world. So I had an equal number of Navy civilians, Department of Defense civilians, and military people that I was in charge of. So I led engineering groups of very large numbers of people working on technical projects. So leadership is something that I've done quite a bit of. I've been in charge of technical teams, engineering teams, and operations. And as I got out of the Navy, after I got out of the Navy, I also had some leadership roles. Most recently, Boeing. I was at Boeing. I was a senior manager at Boeing for a systems engineering group. Decided to walk away from my career in corporate America and start a consulting company. And I decided that leadership and leading people was probably the common theme in my career because I've done so many different things. So I decided to specialize in leadership, call myself a leadership consultant. And so I focused on going out there and making people better leaders, because I do believe that great leadership is the key to almost anything. You've got any problems, it's the key to creating a good culture. It's key to creating good products and getting people to give their best.
Yeah, absolutely. It really is. And I love the way you take the leadership, that education that you got from the Navy into your early portions of the career, and you're carried into the future. So, I mean, now you're if I remember correctly, you're working with a startup on a just kind of helping them out kind of basis, right? As a fractional COO. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So the fractional, I'll tell you what led to that is, first, I was COO of a small company right up until COVID hit. And I had that job for about 90 days because we were focused on keynote speaking was our primary driver of income. So my boss was a guy named John Foley, who was a top 10 most sought after keynote speakers in the country. And, keynote speaking involves standing in front of large groups of people. And so COVID sort of knocked that out. So we weren't able to sustain a team. John had to let me go. And so I was COO of that small company for about 90 days or so.
Yeah.
So
got everybody.
Yeah. So I sort of reverted back to my own consulting company and went, I learned a lot being a COO of that small company. And I really enjoyed it, being able to bring all the different departments and things of the, operations of the company together. So I decided that I would start off as a fractional CEO. And really what that means is two things. For some smaller companies, you have a COO that could just be overwhelmed with things. And I'd like to go in and say, hey, I can be your second. I can run the company while you go on vacation, and I can take some things off your plate, right, that you either don't like to do or don't want to do, and give you time to do the things that you're good at and the things that you like to do. And chamber meetings is an example. You go around, hey, have you used a chamber? It's like, man, I haven't been to a chamber meeting in forever. It's like, would you like to go? Or would you like me to represent the company at the chamber? Because, a lot of good relationships to be made. So that's number one. So number two, with this startup that I'm working with now, single CEO's been the chief cook and bottle washer for the entire operation, and the entire operation depends on him. So it's like, How do we start creating a scalable company or building the foundation for a company that's scalable and not making him the single point of contact or the single point of failure for every function in the company. So we're working on that, and it's exciting.
Very cool. Very cool. And you guys are looking at possibly moving to Phoenix maybe someday, or are you looking in the Phoenix area?
Well, live in Seattle right now. The Seattle, all the myths about the Seattle weather are true, except for the summertime. In the summertime, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. But the winters could be dark and dismal. And my buddy that I told you about, my plebeian roommate, lives in Scottsdale, and I travel down there a few times a year, and I really like it. So we are looking to maybe purchase a property down there, whether we put it on VRO or just a VRBO, or a small condo or something like that, to where we could go down and spend some time there when the weather's not so great here in Seattle. Yeah. With our new work from home, and as you and I discussed, you don't have to be home. It's more like work from anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
It makes that a reality. But I would be willing to move down there for the right opportunity.
Yeah. Awesome. That's great. So I've always said that one connection can change a life. I truly believe that, and I try to live by that. And I really think Ron here can be that one connection that can change not only your life, but your organization, and for the better. So if you're not connected to Ron, please connect with him. Please follow him, engage with him, and help him make aware of any opportunities that are out there. I don't think you can go wrong with adding Ron to your organization. Ron, thank you so much for being on Coffee with Bob. I really appreciate it, and I love helping others, and you've given me a wonderful opportunity here.
Bob, thank you for your generosity. I really appreciate it. And I agree. I think everybody has just made one connection away from something great. So thank you.
I agree. All right. Have a wonderful day.
You do the same. Thank you.